right on. This is a what's the day? Wednesday night special. For those of y'all that's gonna be watching this back, I am breaking down the Texas A&M. Let me see if y'all. I don't think y'all close enough. Hold on. All right, cool. I think that's close enough. Yeah, I think that's close enough. All right. So we're gonna take a look at this. I'm gonna let some people get in here, but for those of you that's gonna be watching this back, what I'm doing is I'm analyzing the Texas A&M police officer bullying, because this guy right here is a bully, bullying the South Carolina football players. And it says, the title says he got fired. He did not get fired. He got relieved from his duties. You know what I'm saying? He got relieved from his duties. What's up with it, man? He got relieved from his duties. So, again, for those of us that's going to be watching this back, that's more in line to what we're talking about today. We're talking about this bully right here messing with these players. And we're going to deduce on if this is racism or not. Because, you know, this country is past racism. We don't experience any type of racial prejudice in this country. Everything is equal for all people. All people respect people, especially black kids. Black kids get the most respect, or at least get treated like everybody, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about. Let me see. I'll give it another minute or so for some more y'all to get in here. I just need 3. That's my magic number, y'all. I work in 3, 6, or 9. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I need. But I'm gonna tell y'all right off the bat, do I think this dude has some racial prejudice about him? Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, look at him. Absolutely. You feel me? Absolutely. Absolutely, I think he has some racial prejudice about him. You feel me? Absolutely. And you might be like, oh, that's racist for you to say, look at him. You know what I'm saying? Look at him. But I'm saying, look at him. You feel me? Look at him. You know what I mean? These type of people, I'm from Texas too, which I don't know about me. Again, for those of y'all that's going to be watching this back, I'm from Texas and Cincinnati, Ohio. I know racism. It's in our blood. And if you're from the United States, period, you should know racism. So that's what we're talking about here today. Let's see what time it is. 2:50, going on 3. I'm gonna give it till 3, and then I'm gonna just go. Forget it. I ain't gonna wait for I ain't gonna wait for too long, because everybody in here gonna catch up eventually. All right, cool. So let's just review the footage real quick. You know what I'm saying? Let's just review the footage real quick, and then we gonna decide on if this looked like something that wasn't what's the word? Something that wasn't racially motivated or not, you know? Before I do that, though, I do want to add that, you know what? I'm going to just play it first, and then I'm going to say what I feel about it. I'm going to play it first. All right. I got the sound off because dude got his commentary and stuff. So, that's the bully situation. You see his bitch ass. You see this bitch ass nigga? All right. So dude, okay, so let's slow that down real quick. Right here. So this player right here, right? He walks off of the field after they was blowing Texas A&M out. And if y'all know anything about Texas, Texas really gives a fuck about their football. Texas really cares about football, y'all. Like, Texas worships football. You feel me? Texas praise to football guys, literally. Like, they do weird shit about football. So Texas don't play about their football. The South really don't play about their football. Particularly Texas does not play about football. Welcome in, y'all. Again, for those of y'all that's gonna be watching this back, make sure you like, subscribe, share this video so we can reach as many people as possible. We are the biggest, by the way. We're bigger than everybody. But today we're talking about, y'all heard about it, Texas A&M police officer fights South Carolina player and gets fired. I'm just letting y'all know right now, he didn't get fired, but we analyzing the footage right now. So just letting y'all know, y'all can check that out. He wild pointing the man. Yeah, he was mad wild, bro. Mad wild, bro. And I know this is a late live, y'all, so a lot of y'all ain't gonna catch up until later, but that's okay. That's okay. We just still gonna do what we supposed to do. So anyways, I'm going to stop talking. Let's watch the footage real quick, and I'm going to give my feedback. He gets the ball smacked out of his hand by this white boy in all white. But he doesn't even worry about that because he just pulled a hamstring. He's coming out with his players. Oh, my fault, y'all. One more time. My fault, y'all. He's running off the field. He gets the ball punched out of his hand by that white boy in all white. He's going to the tunnel. He's not worried about the shit. This is the grown man officer who's dealing with these teenage kids. You know what I'm saying? Grown man, though. He walks in between two players and bumps them. Now, if me and you did this, that's assault. Hold on, excuse me, y'all. My fault. Excuse me. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna let y'all watch that one more time. I'm gonna be quiet. Ball knocked out his hand. Hey, boy. Boy. Boom. And he's talking shit. Because he's tough. Because he's a tough guy. Look at it. Watch it one more time. Boom. All right, I can't tell you no more of that shit. So y'all saw what just happened, right? He's walking. And as he's walking, he sees that there's three of them. There's no way for him to walk. So instead of him being courteous and cordial and being a public servant, what he chooses to do with his time and with his mind, he chooses to extend his arm out and bump a nigga. That's what he chose to do because he's tough. He's a tough guy. Now, do I think it was an accident? I'll let y'all watch it one more time. Y'all deciding if it was an accident or not. Let y'all watch it one more time. Did that look like an accident to y'all? But they about to run it back for y'all. Tough ass white boy, ain't he? All right. I can't watch no more of that shit. Tough ass white boy, you know what I'm saying? Who felt like he could do anything because he's above the law. So the first situation that happened, guys, I just want y'all to notice, the first situation that happened was that the South Carolina football player was he was jogging off the field. You feel me? He had just scored on a sorry ass team. They did come back and win, by the way. So that's that. But he was jogging off the field. You know what I'm saying? He had just scored on that sorry ass defense. He just scored on them. So as he's exiting the field, I don't even know who the guy in the white was that knocked the ball out of his hand. I don't know who he was or what he represented. However, he decided to knock the ball out of his hand. So that's already an act of aggression. From somebody who's not in the game. Because again, these people I'm gonna get to that spiel later. But basically what I'm saying is these people don't care nothing about nothing. All they care about is their entertainment. So anyways, that's what happened. He gets the ball knocked out of his hand. And as he's proceeding to go back to the tunnel to get checked in the medical tent, he does what he got to do. His teammates come back and check on him. As they're coming back out, this grown little boy, because that's a little boy. That's a little boy that did that. This grown little boy, let's go back to him. Boom. This grown little boy who was looking for trouble. This grown little boy who was looking for trouble, who was looking for problems, who was actively being aggressive, came and assaulted two NCAA South Carolina football players. The NCAA should prosecute this because that is assault. If you and I were having a bad day, we're having a bad game, and it was three officers walking towards us, and we know that we had to go, we needed to go that way. And regardless of our day or how we felt, if you and I were to bump into them, you and I would be arrested for assault. I guarantee you this. He should be arrested for assault because he assaulted these young men. If you disagree, it's because you are willfully ignorant and racially biased. I believe that about you. If you disagree that was assault. That is the definition of assault. Now, assault can happen without you even touching people. That's true as well. But what happened here was aggravated assault. He intended to do that. So I'm sorry. I think that deserves further prosecution because that was aggravated. He intended to do this. He premeditated doing that because he saw that there was a group of 3 people who closed up the gaps in the tunnel and he could not fit. So instead of waiting his turn and being just a respectable guy, instead of doing that, he chooses to assault these young men. So we've already determined that this is assault. We know that. This is obvious. That's obviously assault. We know that. This is obvious. This is obviously assault. We know that. So we don't have to talk about that. Now let's talk about, is this racially motivated? Because, again, America likes to tell us that we focus on race too much and that we need to focus on other things aside from race. That's what America likes to tell us because we are living in a post-racial society, right, guys? I mean, race doesn't matter, right, guys? We got over it, right, guys? Us Americans got over it, right? No, I would disagree. No, I would disagree. We are not living in a post-racial society, guys. We are living in the midst of what America has always been. America has always been this. Why haven't we seen something like this happen up until now? What's the difference between maybe 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 12 years ago, for something like this to happen? What's the difference? Why is this happening right now like this? Why is this coming about? Well, I think it's pretty obvious, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. Excuse me, I got, every single shot I got to clean off my camera. So let me do that. There we go. That's clear, right? My apologies. Why do these people feel emboldened, feel hyped up to be aggressive now? What's going on with now? Let me tell you. The reason that people are feeling particularly tough nowadays, particularly particularly hyped up. The reason that people are feeling particularly hyped up nowadays is because of the current administration. People, most normal people only get hyped up by what's going on around them. So, before this second Trump term, the world was pretty much, it was to believe that we had moved on from racism. It was to believe that we had moved on from discrimination, from, everybody's treated equal. There's nothing that separates you and I other than our work ethic, right? That's what these kind of people who don't outwardly admit their prejudice like to say. They like to say, they like to quote, have quotes by Martin Luther King and stuff. They like to say, I judge man on the content of their character, not their race. I don't see color. These type of people say stupid shit like that. These type of people say stupid shit like that. And then on the back of their truck, on the back of their car, probably not no more, but during when it was going on, Black Lives Matter and stuff like that, they would say all lives matter. Or blue lives matter. These type of people. So this coward, because he is a coward, this coward is emboldened, meaning he's pumped up, he's feeling himself. This coward is pumped up because of the white nationalist Trump regime that we got going on right now. It is white nationalism, people. It is. It is white nationalism. And the evidence of that, if you're not paying attention to media, if you're not paying attention to the voter law restrictions and stuff like that they're trying to do, right, that they're actively doing, right now, if you're not paying attention to any of that and you just want some evidence as far as how people generally feel, look at this right here. This is a perfect example. Perfect example of these cowards being pumped up by their regime. Make no mistake, people. I know I've seen a lot of comments about this too. A lot of people been saying like, yo, if he does this right now, you know, imagine what he does behind the scenes. You don't have to imagine. He's showing you. You don't have to imagine what people like this think because they show you. And I appreciate that he's showing me. Now, what happened to this guy? What were the consequences for him assaulting two NCAA football players because of his prejudice and his non-emotional stability? What were the consequences that he received from this? Do y'all know? Yeah, he did feel like he did something by bumping. Do you know what consequences he received after he did this? They sent him home. You might be like, whoa, that means, you know, he got fired, or he got fired. No, he got sent home for the day. He got a timeout. Because assaulting black people has never been taken seriously. Ever. And this is apparent. Now, supposedly there's an ongoing investigation about this, so we'll have to stay tuned. However, if this guy doesn't get assault charges pressed on him, then I know exactly where I'm living, and I kind of already knew where I'm living. I'm living in a white nationalist society that does not value my life or my character. The only thing that they do value is when I put on a football helmet, or I rap, or I sing for them, or I tap dance for them. That's the only thing that they do value. So, because I'm aware of that, and I'm aware of these cowards, what do I do to avoid a situation like this? Well, black man, black woman, there is nothing that you can do to avoid this type of guy. Welcome in, everybody. Make sure you like and share this video. We are the biggest, by the way. We're talking about this coward assaulting these two young men. What do we do to avoid this situation? Here's Solar Man's official thought about all of this. What we do to avoid this situation and to avoid situations like this is that we stop participating in their games. That's the only way. The only way we avoid cunts like this is to stop participating in their games. Let me see. Joshua Santos, keep crying. Hey, Joshua. I've been doing something recently lately where I've been talking to people who have something to say to me. So somebody like you, I don't think that you're intelligent enough to even hold a conversation with somebody like me. So what I'll tell you, Joshua, is that you can inbox me at Solarman on IG, and we can further discuss your inadequacy, your lack of intelligence, your lack of character, and how much you lack and how little you contribute to society because you are mentally retarded. So I won't focus on you though, Joshua, because you're a hoe. And I don't respect hoes like you. Anyways, what I'm saying about this, guys, is that the only way to not deal with this situation is to completely remove ourselves from entertainment, period. When we remove ourselves from entertainment, then you'll notice that not only will things change, you'll start getting apologies. They'll start seeing how, oh man, I understand how it is now. Everybody needs to come together. They'll start saying stupid shit like that. So what example, though, do I have to support that if we stop participating, that things will change? Well, it's now labeled as a terroristic organization, unlike the Ku Klux Klan. However, Black Lives Matter, when we was outside, Black Lives Matter, when they were outside, and we refused to shop at certain places, we stopped the functioning of operation within the United States. Things changed within 60 days. Within 60 days, being outside changed the narrative in the United States of America. So our participation class, for those of y'all that's gonna be watching this back, our participation is what enables this kind of behavior. Because he's a coward and he's a cunt. And one-on-one, without that badge, he would die. Because he's a cunt and he's a coward. One-on-one, these type of cowards are not tough. They're quiet. They just look and they smile. Or they just don't say anything to you. But they're cowards. He is emboldened. He's pumped up because he got that badge on him. And he has the law behind him. And I think, personally, this is Solar Man's opinion, I think anybody who can't handle themselves one-on-one or who can't treat people equally are cowards. And they don't deserve to, not only do they not deserve to wear a badge, they don't deserve to put on grown man drawers. He needs to put on panties, because that's bitch behavior. So, again, just to surmise the situation, he assaulted these two young men. Joshua Santos in my comments talked about keep crying. I'm not crying, bitch ass little boy. I'm making a point of emphasis that all people should be bumped into if I get bumped into. That's my point with this. Or nobody should be bumped into, because everybody needs to lead with respect. That's my point of emphasis. Let me read a couple comments. Start our own league. Don't even give them that clout. Man, I gotta give clout. I got to, bro. Because people be having the wrong idea. What the hell is this dude talking about? Because we burned down our own businesses. We didn't do anything, Sean. You are, this is who you are, Sean. You are either a white boy who's pretending to be black, or you're a alt-right black guy who hates his own kind, or you're not none of those things and you're just a bot. Whatever the case may be, we didn't burn down anything, Sean. What happened, Sean, during the Black Lives Matter movements and stuff like that, there were people in those conglomerates who were terrorists. They were. I will give you that. There were people in the Black Lives Matter movement who were terrorists, who were domestic terrorists. We have not been the first domestic terrorists on American soil, though, Sean. We are kind of like following an example of our white nationalists, Sean. So, Sean, I just want to point your attention that things only change when the speed of society is slowed down. When society gets to keep moving at a normal pace, shit like this gets overlooked. Meaning, racial prejudice gets overlooked because society kind of gets to keep moving on. And because society gets to keep moving on, we don't pay attention to the particulars of shit that's going on around us. You know what I mean? That's what that's about, Sean. You know what I mean, Sean? You hear me, Sean? Well, I mean, you got to understand, bro. They kind of doing what you was doing, I appreciate you being here, though. People lead with hate because they don't understand anything else, because they're not intelligent people. And until they have an awakening or an encounter with someone who's not afraid of their hate, they're never going to change. So I don't really worry about people, bro. It's all good, bro. It's all good. Trey Young looking ass. That's a compliment, bro. Trey Young's a multimillionaire. He's mixed. I'm not mixed. But yeah, that's a compliment. I don't know what you're trying. You're not talking about anything. But the main point of emphasis here, though, guys, is that this coward This little boy, this grown little boy who gets to wear a badge, still has his officer title, still has his officer privileges, and the only thing that happened to him for assaulting 2 black boys was that he has to go home. That's it. And, case closed. Back to business as usual. So, I don't agree with what happened to him. I think the same way that they do us, people need to get made examples out of. He needs to get made an example out of him. He needs aggravated assault charges pressed up against him because that was aggravated. And if I understand the definition, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. For those of you that has been some criminals, correct me if I'm wrong. To be aggravated means that it was premeditated, meaning that he planned to do it. He planned to do that. So, because he planned to do that, he does not get, nor does he deserve the privilege and the honor of being a civil servant, because he is not civil. He does not know how to be civil. I'm going to let it play one more time, and then I'm going to sit down and talk to y'all. We're probably only going to go for about 40 minutes. Let's play it one more time, because maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm crying, like they said. Let's check it out one more time.
A&M so bad in the first half that a police officer nearly fought one of the South Carolina players. As Nick Harbor, he got an 80-yard touchdown, but after he was running up the tunnel, grabbing his hamstring, so he was clearly banged up a bit. And when he was going back onto the plane to get out of the tunnel, he bumps into that officer, the state trooper, and the state trooper takes exception. He has some words for Harbor. He's yelling at him, even though he basically just runs through 2 players. And this was just a bizarre scenario. I don't know who the officer, the trooper, thinks he is to just yell at the players when he...
Okay. So one thing that they didn't do here, guys, is that they didn't release the officer's name. They didn't release his name. They didn't give any background from where he's from, how many incidents like this has he occurred, what further action has been processed, because if they handle it inside, if this is an internal investigation from Texas A&M University himself or the state of Texas, and I think Texas A&M is where, I don't know. Anyways, if they handle it internally, nothing is going to happen to that guy, to him. Nothing's going to happen to him. So, again, my synopsis with that is, and the only way we avoid situations like that is to stop participating in their games, because we are entertainment. We are entertainment. And if we keep participating, then they have every right to act with aggression. So, I'm glad that you guys got to watch this. You don't have to just take my word for it. Was it racially motivated? I don't believe that he does this to 2 white boy players. I don't. I do not believe that he does this to 2 white boy players, because I've never seen an example of it happen. But I have seen examples of this happen, historically speaking, leading up to now. I just haven't seen it in some years. But we got this one on camera. So was it racially motivated? Yes. Was it premeditated? Yes. Is he fit to wear the badge? And does he deserve to keep walking around as if he's a civil servant? No. Because he's a little man-child who is not in control of his emotions. And when you are not in control of your emotions, you are dangerous. Especially if you get to walk around with a badge and a gun. You might do anything to me, sir, if I make you mad. So, class, that's what happened. That's what's going on with that. Let me go ahead and get back to my office chair. 1 second, people. 1 second, people. I had to eat lunch, dinner a little late, so excuse that. Por favor. Yeah, that's a good point, bro. They did laugh it off in the break room. They laughed it off in the break room because they do not take us seriously. And the reason that they don't take us seriously is because, and I say this with all sincerity, because we don't take each other seriously. And what do I mean by that? We don't take each other seriously is because we still depend on the system to be fair and lucid, meaning aware of us. And the system has never been fair nor lucid of us, ever. The system has never been fair or aware of us and our plight, ever. So we can't expect people who never had to treat you fairly to treat you fairly. Let me give you guys a better example for my street people. It's like if you've been serving somebody for so long, right? And all of a sudden, one day they just decide to stop. And I ain't talking about weed. Well, it can be weed, but anything. I'm talking about like some soft, cocaine or some whatever. If you've been serving somebody for so long, you look at them a certain kind of way, right? You look at them like they're less than you. Because for all intent and purposes, the way that you've treated them and the way that they've interacted with you has been less than you. So because they've been less than you or under a position under you, you do not look at them like people. Y'all know that's true. If you ever served somebody before, you don't look at that person like a person. You know what they call people like that? They call them licks. You look at them like licks. And a lick does not deserve respect. A lick is not a human. A lick is a lick. You can do anything to a lick. That's why y'all be seeing the videos of crackheads and stuff be getting kicked in their chest. You know what I'm saying? Smacked, backhanded, pissed on, set on fire. You do anything to a lick. What's going on, Gift? Yeah, real talk. You do anything to a lick. And when you have a lick, you do not respect them. And who is the lick in this culture, in this society? Historically speaking, my people, those of the descendants of Deuteronomy, the 12 tribes, the descendants of Judah, from the tribe of Judah, have been licks in this country historically. We are licks. We have been treated less than. That's why you notice, though, whenever you're talking about anything that has to do with racial prejudice, particularly in this country, anywhere really, but particularly this country, you always have people who are not involved in the conversation or who benefit from the aggressors of the conversation. They come in and they tell you to stop whining, or they tell you to keep crying, or they tell you to stop being a victim. If I'm crying or if I'm a victim, doesn't that suggest that you've done something to me? If I'm a victim, that means you've been doing something to me. If I'm crying, that's because you did something to me. But because this country is so anti-black and so against anybody who looks like me, and I'm light-skinned, I know, but anybody who looks like me or who comes from my tribe and my people, because this country is so against us, they don't see us as human. They don't see us as human. So, what is the solution? Outside of that, I just told y'all that the only solution for something like that not to happen anymore would be for us not to participate in the games. Is that going to happen? No. It's not going to happen. Because we're too now, and the NCAA did a good thing with this as far as protecting their bottom line by allowing players to start receiving over the table, because it's been happening under the table for the stars, you know what I'm saying? But over the table, they allowed what's called NIL deals. So because they allowed that, they protected what's called their bottom line. And the bottom line is that these games need to continue. Their bottom line is that the players, it's a lot of good white boy players and, a couple, some good everybody. But, who's the most? Black people. Because their bottom line is the black players, they need them to, and also there was a trend that started happening kind of like right before or after, I think it was after Deion Sanders went to Jackson State. He kind of like reignited the flame under the blacks need to congregate and be with blacks. Blacks need to go to black schools. Blacks are going to get treated better at black schools. So when that sentiment started coming around, what the NCAA did, we say, whoa, 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 whoa. We don't want that. We don't want that. Instead of having that, hold on, guys, we'll pay you. You know, we've been making billions off of you guys every single year. But hey, you know, we said that the what made it fair when they used to argue what made it fair to not pay players but to receive all this money from the ticket sales, the concession sales, the parking sales, the merchandise sales, the video game name and likeness sales, the jersey sales. What made it fair was that these players got education. The players, what was supposed to make it fair was that we received education. Even though 99.9% of the times when these players are coming through, bro, they don't give a damn about no education. They coming to play football. I'm coming to play basketball. I'm about to go take communications as my major, some bullshit. Liberal arts, some bullshit. Let's see, English, some bullshit. And I'm about to ball out on this court, and I'm about to do my 1 year, my 2 years, my 3 years, my 4 years, and I'm about to get the fuck on. I'm not here for no damn education. I'm here to give myself an opportunity. That's a good question. Do I think the WNBA goes through the same issue? I know. So this is the thing, bro. You got to just remember where you are as far as what country you're in. This country is the most anti-black prejudiced country in the known world. Now, I'm not saying that we benefited the most from it, but we're the biggest at it. You know, you got places like the United Kingdom that really was one of the biggest profiteers of it. And then you got places like the Arab world, which was one of the biggest profiteers of it. And then you got, places like South America, which was one of the biggest profiteers of it. And then you got us. We're just the biggest at it because we are the most financially stable, they say. So do I think that WNBA goes through the same thing? Yes, they go through similar things as far as prejudice, as far as a lack of respect. Because again, we just talked about what a lick is. We have been the lick. No matter if you're a female lick or you're a male lick, you're still a lick. And when you're a lick, you never deserve respect. You know that. You know how that go. You'll never get no respect being a lick. You can't. I can't respect you. You're a lick. So, yes, the WNBA goes through the same thing. The difference between the WNBA and the NBA, though, is that not only is the rate of pay different. Like, for example, the WNBA, I got a WNBA superstar that lives in my neighborhood. I actually went to school with her. But yeah, she lives in my neighborhood. Her name's Kelsey Mitchell. Look her up right now. She plays with Caitlin Clark. That's her. She lives in my neighborhood right now. For the Indiana, whatever Indiana's basketball team is. You do not get any respect participating in the games of the oppressor. Right on. You don't get any respect participating in the games of the oppressor. And I know that sounds like you oppressed. Yes, I'm oppressed because I was born and I was raised in a system that was not meant to benefit me. It has only ever been used to go against me. That is oppression. By definition. So, to surmise this conversation, do I think that anything further is going to happen to that guy? I'll hold off on the cynicism. I'll say, let's wait and see. In reality, though, I don't have high hopes for this country. I don't believe that we as a collective hold the silent white majority accountable. The dude that killed Sonya Massey, y'all remember Sonya Massey? The black lady that was in her kitchen, minding her own business. She was in Illinois, and she got murdered in her kitchen. And she called on the name of Jesus when it was 2 white boy officers that came in, and he said he shot her because he thought she was going to throw that pot of boiling water on him. So he killed her. He shot her right in the head. right in the head after she rebuked him in the name of Jesus. What do I bring that up for? I bring that up to say that, again, I can't emphasize this enough. When you're looked at like a lick, you never get respect. You never get respect. You never get respect. Let me make sure I ain't miss no comments. I know we a little low right now, y'all. I normally try to go live a little earlier, but I had some stuff to handle today, so you know it's all good. We just gonna keep being what's the word? Consistent. We gotta buy those stadiums and start our own league, black owned. Yeah, so we did that. You a little young, but what that was called the Negro Leagues, because you know we get disrespected. Period. You know it can't just be the American. You know it's the nigga leagues. So we had that back in the day. You know a lot of our ancestors played in that type of stuff. You know I myself I had uncles, great uncles. That played in the Negro baseball leagues. So we did that. The only thing about, and that kind of leads to a different conversation of separate but equal. Because during segregation, you remember segregation? Segregation was supposed to be fair because it was separate, meaning black over here, white over here, everything in between kind of got to go over there. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, you know? But what made it fair was that everything was equal, meaning equal athletic facilities for sports, equal schools, equal police stations, and equal funding for those. But we all know that none of that stuff was ever dispersed and given out equally. Never. So we've kind of already tried. I'm gonna go to 45. We kind of already tried that, bro, and it doesn't work. Because it doesn't work because what this country will always do, and always has been, I just told you, right, that Black Lives Matter was labeled a domestic terroristic organization. The Black Panthers were labeled a domestic terrorist organization. The Nation of Islam was labeled a black terrorist organization or a domestic terrorist organization. So what that means is that this country has anything that those who, if you try to organize yourself, you will be labeled as an aggressive entity. But we're in the same country where the Ku Klux Klan, you know the Ku Klux Klan? They wear them white pointy robes, you know, they're cowards, they don't show their faces, but they say all the most craziest evil shit out of their mouth, but they don't show them faces. The Ku Klux Klan has not been labeled a domestic terroristic organization. So you can't bargain with a murderer, bro. It's like this. It's like you trying to bargain with a dude who got a gun in your head, and you trying to be like, all right, just let me get five eggs, and you take, you know what I'm saying? Let me get 5 and you take my 8. I'm gonna give you 8, just give me 5. And he like, nigga, I ain't gotta give you nothing, nigga. I ain't gotta give you nothing, nigga. I ain't gotta give you nothing, nigga. That's who we're dealing with. So, through my research, what I've found, what I've experienced, what I've learned is that you cannot negotiate with savages. Those people are savages. You cannot negotiate with savages. It does not work. It won't work. The only thing that you can do is to remove yourself. So, that's the only solution, bro. And the only way people would remove themselves is if something personally happened to them. We got a lot of selfish niggas in this country. People who don't give a damn about nothing that ain't got nothing to do with them. They'll be like, bro, you can keep that shit, nigga. I'm about to go eat, nigga. What you talking about? They can pay me to be a high paid slave, y'all call it. Bitch, I'm rich. You know, do something that pisses them off. Take a knee for what you believe in their league, and see how they feel about you. You know, so we got a lot of cowards who are completely ran and controlled by the money. And I'm not gonna just call everyone a coward, but I'm just gonna say that, you know, when you work so hard to achieve something so low vibrational like sports or even entertainment, and I'm not saying that they don't have to work hard. All I'm saying is that it's low vibrational. When you work so hard to achieve such a low vibrational goal like that, to give it up for the greater good, when you individually had to put in so much work, is not practical. You know what I'm saying? It's not practical. So at this time, unless they shoot one of us in the head again, and even then, you know, COVID kind of like took the life out of us, and they vaccinated the fuck out of us, and they kind of like subdued that aggressive part of us a little bit. So at this time, we're kind of like every man for himself, bro. You know, that's the vibe I'm getting. Every man for himself. Oh yeah, I definitely used to hoop, bro. I used to hoop in college. I mean, I'm a real hooper. But yeah, everybody, every man for themselves. That's what we got going on right now. Every man for themselves. Let's see. I'm at 45. Y'all know I gotta make it to 50. I don't even know why I said 45. But anyways, to surmise what we talked about the Texas A&M. Excuse me, I gotta take my mouth is dry. I gotta take a sip. We talked about the Texas A&M state trooper, and he's a state trooper. He doesn't just work for the college campus, I'm sure. So he goes all throughout the, he'd be on the interstate pulling people over and stuff like that. So we just talked about how, one, it was premeditated. He intended to bump in between them people. That's aggravated, if I'm not mistaken. And two, it was assault. He assaulted those two players. And then three of the consequences that he faced for his assault. He did not face any legal consequences at this time. He only got put in timeout. He only had to go home for the day. So, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not satisfied with anybody doing anything to anybody. I don't like bullies. So I'm not satisfied with a bully being allowed to walk around and still put on his big boy pants. He just got to go in timeout for the day. I'm not satisfied with that. And as we grow this channel, as we get more resources to the platform that is Solar Man, because I represent y'all. I don't just represent myself. I'm just a voice in this matrix. As we grow and our resources grow, shit like that won't go without us making sure that everything that he deserves happens to him. I guarantee you this. I guarantee you this. I swear my life on it. Because I don't like bullies. And historically speaking, this country as a whole has been bullies, not only just to the rest of the world, but to its own people. And I don't like bullies. I don't. Can't stand them. Right on. Right on. Yeah, bro. You just got to come to Ohio and we can do all that. But yeah, though, for those of y'all that's going to be watching this back, we talked about the Texas State Trooper who allowed his political, racial, and team bias to interfere with his decision making. And because of that, he is unfit, undeserving, and unable to be a public servant. He needs to be removed of his duties and publicly shamed immediately. That's what he deserves. That's what he deserves. Guys, we live in a country that's the reason that these people are so aggressive is because it's taught. Because they train to shoot, they train to hunt, they train to go against us. They call us niggas and niggers all the time. And then us, we're trained to go against ourselves. We're trained to go against each other. We're trained to spend our youth fighting each other and getting locked up and being in incarceration and being in the system. We're not trained to organize ourselves. That's intentional, that's on purpose. Huey P. Newton was 21, 23 when he got murdered. Huey knew who Huey P. Newton was, bro? Huey P. Newton was one of the organizers and leaders of the Black Panther movement. the terroristic organization that only wanted to protect themselves against bitch ass niggas like him. And they got labeled terrorists, bro. In California, the Black Panther movement, because again, since police officers repeatedly were known to not protect black people and were known to be aggressive towards black people and were known to over police black people and were known to be overly aggressive with black people, what they did was, you know, the California Black Panther Party members said, you know what? All right, bet. We're not even gonna ask y'all for nothing no more. We'll do it ourselves. We're gonna lean on our Second Amendment, which is the right to bear arms, and we're gonna be outside with our own choppers, with our own fires, and we'll police ourselves. And do you know what the NRA did with these gun clubs did? You know, these pro-gun people did? Do you know what they did, what the state of California did? They immediately pushed for legislation for stricter gun laws in California. So you've never been treated equally, bro. You've never been respected, bro. The only thing to do is to not participate. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.